about to lay her ass out. I just want to start right here.
Y'all leaving? No, y'all this from here?
No, they just got here.
Oh, okay.
It's the other girl. I don't know where they went. They made that.
I don't know if Ricky Lynn somebody standing outside.
Ricky Lynn ain't leaving the Hattie Burton, the bigger guy that wears overalls.
Everybody pushing it. They trying to record a video. That's it. Look out here looking, bitch. I'm proud of you.
Hey, stay focused, bitch.
Don't touch it. Don't fall back. Look at this, bitch.
The fuck? Let me see, mama, this here. You can have a real chick. Let me see, you did not raise young boy right. I did not raise young boy right. Bitch, I raised my children right, and guess what? Your mama ain't raised you right, because if your mama raised you right, you would know better not to talk to me, bitch, because I ain't the motherfucking one. Get the fuck out my life, pussy. Fuck wrong with you, I ain't raised my motherfucking children right. Yeah, I raised my children right, bitch. I bet you one thing. The only right way is don't let no motherfucking body play with you, bitch. That's the only right way I know. So if I ain't raised them right, bitch, guess what, dude? That's on them. Because guess what? Stupid ass bitch. Fuck they worry about. Let me see what they done now. Like your son locked up in jail. You on live. Bitch, what I'm supposed to be doing? Sitting in the motherfucking cell with him? Get your pussy ass off my motherfucking live, you fucking pussy. 38 Bailey, you 38 dickhead. That's the fuck you is. The fuck out my motherfucking live. Fuck wrong with you? Fuck I'm supposed to do? How the fuck I'm supposed to? We can't.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to Mocha's Breaking News. Hi, everyone. How you doing? What's popping out there? Want to give a big shout out to all of my subscribers, new and old, those who've been rocking with me from day one, those of you who are just jumping on board. Welcome to Cafe de Paris. I thank you for stopping to hang out and dine in and have some breakfast with your girl, me, Lady Mocha, here at Cafe de Paris. I thought it was very imperative that I did this video for the simple fact that it really brings up a lot of truth that I felt was very imperative to share with all of you out there. The reason why I felt it was imperative for me to do this video was my daughter actually brought this to my attention, okay? As you can see, this footage that just been displayed, this is a young man. I don't even know if to call him a young man, but he's a young man by the name of NBA Youngboy, okay? He is supposedly one of these new school hip-hop artists. Now keep in mind, I don't do new hip-hop. I have not done it for quite some time, so I don't really know too much about these new school hip-hop artists today. I don't know. I heard of the Amigos, I heard of Fetty Wap, and I mean, I really don't keep up with the new school hip-hop artists, because the hip-hop that I remember from my era was KRS-One, Nas, Salt and Pepper, MC Light, Dawes Effects, basically all of the real hip hop from the late 70s to the early 90s, okay? After that, I kind of fell out of love with hip hop ever since. Once they killed my boy Biggie and Tupac, hip hop ain't never been the same for me. But anyhow, this is the supposedly new rap artist NBA Youngboy, and basically as you can see, he's definitely has a lot of psychological and mental issues, okay? It's basically has gone viral that he's been physically abusing his girlfriend, which is a young lady by the name of Janaya, okay? My daughter brought this to me and showed me through her Instagram or whatever. She said, Mom, I really want to show you this. So she shows me the video of this young man, as y'all can see, was in the lobby and dragging and pulling on her and all of that, and basically, she tried to condone his behavior and basically stated that they was just playing and everybody was making a big deal out of it, okay? And basically, my daughter said it's been several videos of him disrespecting her, okay? He's gone so far as to make her sleep outside in the lobby while he's screwing other groupies. Keep in mind, he's a father of 3 or 4 babies. A lot. I don't even think the first one is 1 or 2 years old yet. Okay, so I think all of them are under 1, or either one is going on close to 1. But he's only 18 years old, and he already has 3 to 4 babies. Okay, so you already get an idea of what type of situation this is here. It's basically one of those ratchet Jerry Springer type of situations. Okay, so basically you know, my daughter was telling me it's been numerous occasions with him disrespecting her, and as you can see through the clips that have just been displayed, you know that this is a young man with a lot of mental issues. Okay, unfortunately, troubled children have a way of connecting with other troubled children, and because he's a troubled young man, he was able to gravitate towards another troubled young female. And the reason I can tell she's very troubled, because as y'all can see, you know, she's tolerating and accepting all of his abuse from him, and then she's condoning it. Not only that, you know, he's letting other women touch on him, other females, groupies touch on him. And as you can see, when they was on stage, while this girl is grabbing his crotch, touching his little penis or whatever, he intentionally allowed this female to disrespect him. Not only him, but the main thing was Janiyah, his supposedly girlfriend, was standing right there, and you could tell he was enjoying every minute of it. He had his hands on both sides, allowing this other groupie to touch on him, knowing his girlfriend is insecure, knowing he's gonna feel some type of way, she's gonna feel some type of way, and he was actually enjoying it. And like a fool, she up here confronting the girl for grabbing on his crotch. Instead of getting mad, I would have slapped the hell out of him. How you got me with you on the stage? I'm here to support you and rock with you, and you letting these groupies touch on you, feel on you, because we already know groupies have no filter. Okay, they are going to target your man. You know, I mean, that's just the way it is. Even if your man is not a goddamn celebrity, it's going to be thirsty ass gut bucket females that's going to try and test and challenge these men. And if your man allows another woman to disrespect him and fill on him while you're right there, that speaks volumes as to how much respect he has for you. Okay, so you can just tell, just based on the few little clips that I have displayed, this guy is a handful. All right, so I really don't want us focusing so much on the fact that he's a celebrity, because I could care less about that. Like I said, I don't do a lot of stories on celebrities. I'm not a gossip or celebrity blogger. I leave that for Lovely T and Tasha Unwind, for all the ladies who have the credentials and the connections to do that, because I don't have those type of credentials or connections. Basically, is to make this is to make the point that I've been stressing all along, okay, about how hood mothers produce hood children. Okay, furthermore, you saw how when the media or social media stands came in on his mother, and when they say the apple don't fall far from the tree, it really doesn't. Like son, like mother, like mother, like son. She was just as ratchet as her ratchet ass son, basically. Okay, she's on social media cussing, talk about BITCH, I know how to raise my mother effing kids and all this and that. And I'm like, you know what? No wonder this young man didn't stand a chance. He didn't stand a chance. Like I tell all of my subscribers all the time, some children are doomed from the womb, meaning that a lot of them don't even stand a chance the day they are conceived. Okay, they already in trouble and don't even know it yet. So basically, I can tell by the way he acts and by the way his mother behaves that, okay, this is a lost cause situation. All right, he's definitely no hope for him, because the one woman who had authority over him to teach him better, she act like she don't know no damn better. And that makes my point, and this is why I'm going to serve today's recipe. And basically, it's about hood mamas, okay, because there's a lot of hood mamas out there that are producing hood children. Okay, and when I say hood, keep in mind, I'm not just talking about the neighborhood where you live at. I don't care if you live in the projects. I don't care if you live in low-income housing or whatever. You can live in the hood and not have a hood mentality. Hell, you can live in the suburbs, live in a mansion, have a hood mentality, okay? I mean, even rapper Master P would tell you, you know, him and his wife had a divorce because all the millions he was making a year, even the big old homes and houses and the big mansion he had with the gold elevator going up and down, it still didn't stop his wife from being hood. She's still out there strung out on drugs, trying to sue him and sue his son Romeo for every dime she could get, okay? You can take somebody out the hood, but you can't take the hood out of them, okay? And basically, this is what's going on. It's a whole lot of things wrong with this scenario, okay? So basically, we have a lost young man, okay, who's unfortunately, I can't say he's a millionaire. I don't know his bracket. That's what he's claiming. He's a millionaire. But basically, he's rich. Not successful, but rich. Because to me, there's a difference between being rich and successful. I feel like when a person is rich, they just have a lot of money. Meaning, you really didn't do nothing significant, but you did enough to where you were able to profit. You did something. It didn't even have to be nothing meaningful, but you did something to where you was able to become rich and earn proceeds. Now, being successful to me is more than just a dollar, meaning that you basically had to put in a lot of work. You had to put in a lot of skills and abilities before you really started seeing, you know, your proceeds coming to fruition. So to me, there's a difference between being rich and successful. You could be rich, but that don't really mean you did anything to be rich. It's no different than Kim Kardashian. She didn't do nothing to be rich, but get a couple of porn texts put out there, and that's how she became successful. To me, she just became rich, not successful. Successful to me is if you're, you know, somebody who started your own company, started your own business, you know, you graduated with some doctoral receipts, degrees, stuff like that. That's being successful. You know that. So to me, rich and successful is not the same thing, okay? But basically, I'm digressing. There's a lot playing into the scenario, okay? So this is basically what I would consider a hood clown, okay? Because even though he has all of this money, he still has a hood mentality, okay? So I've been doing a little bit of my research, and I've been going on his Instagram and a couple of things, and you could just tell he's a very cocky young man. On Instagram, he has all of these pictures of himself holding lots and lots of money. He got money in his mouth, which is very unsanitary. I'm like, he's just so hood, you know what I mean?
It's a chauvinistic pig attitude that you're gonna do something because you work at the Arsenal and you got a fucking Mercedes-Benz and you ain't gotta walk every day, so you gonna get out and strut that ass, strut that ass, strut that ass, strut that ass.
It's common sense. You don't put money in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? It's disgusting. Money is full of germs. He's always live streaming when they're shopping at the mall, and of course he has his, you know, low self-esteem, low common denominator broad Janiyah with him. She's all in the mall shopping with him. You know, he's spending big money on her and all this and that. But at the same time, the whole world is getting exposed to him basically disrespecting the hell out of her, you know. And the sad part is, the question that keeps poking at me is, where is her mother? If the whole world is seeing her get disrespected, I know she got parents, I know she got sisters, I know she got aunts, and for nobody to not say nothing on it, for them to make her feel like it's comfortable to accept and tolerate that type of behavior, just lets me know that, you know what, it's a lot of hood mothers out here that are willing to allow their children to compromise being disrespected just so they can you know, get a dollar, be with a man that basically treats them like crap. But at the same token, you know, their mothers is making them think it's acceptable due to the simple fact that, hey, this nigga got money, hey, he's popular, he's a rapper. And not understanding that I don't care how much money or how popular or successful somebody is, that doesn't make it right for them to disrespect you, okay? But we're going to go proceed, and because there's so many points that I want to make with this situation here, okay? Basically, it grieves my spirit because, like I tell all of y'all, I have a 16-year-old daughter. And when I seen this young lady, Janiyah is the name she goes by, take all this disrespect. I mean, the whole media is making a mockery out of her, and you know these children are already cruel. So a lot of the kids within her age range has basically been going in on her pretty bad, telling her she's stupid, which she is, saying she's dumb.
You are really dumb. For real.
Age range has basically been going in on her pretty bad, telling her she's stupid, which she is, saying she's dumb. And when she tried to come up with all these excuses to condone his abusive behavior, you know, she tried to insinuate that they were just playing, and as y'all can see in that video, he was not playing. He was being very rough for her, and you can tell this is something he does all the time. This ain't something he just started doing, because as we all know, abuse, it keeps escalating. It goes from you dumb bitch to, okay, you go from calling me names, now you shoving me, then you go from shoving me to now you choking me, then you go from choking me to punching me and boxing me and so forth. You know, abuse keeps escalating. And you can just tell, unfortunately, this is a young man with a lot of issues. And based on the way he handles her, he's handling her, he's very angry, even with all his money, even with all his success. A lot of times, like Pastor Jakes said in one of his sermons, money just makes you more of what you are. If you was already a nasty person when you was broke, get some money, you're gonna be even more nastier. If you was a hoe when you was broke, get some money, you're gonna really be a hoe. Whatever you already are, money is just gonna enhance it. Okay, so basically, this is just a poverty-stricken young man who came from nothing, and now that he done got on the come up, he's making some money and everything. His nasty, egotistical attitude,
It's a chauvinistic pig attitude
has gotten the best of him to the point where he's producing all of these children. Okay, he has all type of women that he's screwing and a raw. I'm sure he's going to get plenty more children before he even get in his damn middle 20s, if he already got 3 or 4 babies and he's not even in his 20s yet. So basically, this is just a hood clown who done come up, and now that he has a little bit of success, it has gone to his head, and add insult to injury, he's abusing somebody's daughter. And that's why I think it's very imperative I speak on this all the time, ladies and gentlemen. If you have a son or you have a daughter that's in the dating game, please keep up with them. Meet their companions, meet their boyfriends, meet their girlfriends, meet these people that are supposed to be involved in your child's life, because you will be surprised what your child is going through. A few of you out there might have a daughter that's experiencing the same type of abuse this young lady is experiencing, and you have no idea, because this young man comes around you well dressed, he comes around you all polite, yes ma'am, no ma'am, because some of them don't act hood up front. Some of them really know how to perform and put their game face on, because the last guy my daughter was dating, he really had me fooled, and behind closed doors, fortunately it didn't escalate to that point, because I pinpointed it before it got that far. But he was really disrespecting my child and treating her all kind of way, and had my baby feeling like she was the ugliest thing in this planet, you know, because, you know, he was one of those guys, like, this young man had a little body, had little looks, and even though he didn't look like nothing to me, you know, these young women got their own taste of what they consider as fine and good looking, and my daughter was crazy about him, and she was crazy about him, and he was just goddamn crazy, period. And fortunately, by me being a mother that's very attentive, I was able to get involved before he really, you know, dragged my daughter any further than what he was dragging her. Okay, and again, like I said this on one of my previous videos, you have to be very observing when it comes to who's involved in your children's lives, you know, whether if it's a boyfriend or a friend, like the Kanika Jenkins situation, the little girl that got killed at the hotel and all of that, and everybody played crazy like they didn't know what happened. You have to really meet your daughters or your sons, meet your children's peers, you know, that way you can get an idea as to what's going on. And even if something happens, it's better than being completely out the dark and being caught off guard and being surprised because you didn't know anything. Okay, but also, you know, the thing about the situation is this young man is already troubled, and he got lucky by meeting another young woman who was just as troubled as he was. And it's evident that this female has a lot of, Janiyah is her name, she has a lot of low self-esteem issues. And again, like I always say, I blame her mother for that. As mothers, if we're not sitting down talking to our daughters and making them understand that regardless of how much they like a boy or how much they want to be in a relationship, that they should never accept any abuse on any level, whether if it's physical, whether if it's emotional, whether if it's mental, as a parent, you have to make sure your children are aware that abuse is not acceptable. And the same thing for you sons, because I know a lot of parents who have sons out there who is getting emotionally abused by these young girls, because let's face it, some of these young girls today, guys, are just as ruthless as these ghetto thug Negroes. There's some hood girls, there's some ghetto girls that are just as ruthless, and who has made a lot of people's sons cry, who has made a lot of people's sons just jump off the deep end, you know. So even if you got a boy and you don't have a daughter, you still got to be involved and check out the young lady that he's dating, you know, because of some of these young boys, they get hooked on that young panani and they just go crazy. They take all kind of backlash and foolishness off of these young girls. So you got to be careful. I don't care if you got a daughter or a son. You need to keep up with who the hell they dating, because you just don't know what your children are going through behind closed doors, and they're not going to tell you. The majority of them are not going to tell you. They're going to make everything seem like it's fine, it's okay, and behind closed doors they are suffering, and then you won't know until you come home one day and you see your child killed himself, or she hung herself because she was just so damn emotionally in love with him, and she couldn't stand the fact of losing him, or he couldn't stand the fact of losing her, so they take themselves out. These kids cannot handle their emotions these days. They just can't. We see it on the news all the time. You know, they're either killing each other or they killing themselves, and the family is left behind having to grieve and deal with that guilt. You got to be in on the know with your children, okay? So what makes me really mad about this whole situation is the fact his hood ratchet mama, this low common denominator, this bottom of the totem pole broad, okay, she goes in on social media and presents herself to be the ratchet queen that she is, okay. Once she came out her mouth with all this profanity, all uneducated, it let me know, okay, the apple don't fall too far from the tree. All right. I mean, unfortunately, this young man, like I said all the time, he was doomed from the womb. Some of these children are doomed from the womb, meaning they already are in trouble before they even get here on this planet, okay? Because some parents, let's face it, everybody who has children are not supposed to have children. Just because you have children, that doesn't make you mother. Hell, roaches have babies, all right? They're not mothers. And then the sad part is, hell, in some cases, roaches take care of their babies better than some of these humans. Birds take care of their babies better than, they take care of their baby birds and bring them food back to the nest more than these grown women who can even keep groceries in their own goddamn house for their kids to eat. I mean, it's just sad, but we have a lost generation. And it's because of the women who have produced and conceived and brought them in this world, okay? So I seen, you know, once I witnessed his mother's delivery and her ratchetness, it just really became very clear to me. This young man don't stand a chance. A lot of troubled children, if you really look into the background and you meet the mother, you meet the father, it gives you a strong indication that, okay, this child really didn't stand a chance, you know. And unfortunately, he was just doomed from the start because he didn't have no real guidance. He didn't have a real woman to teach him how to treat other women. Apparently, you know, not when she's up there saying, what the F I'm supposed to do, sit in the cell with my mother effing son. I'm like, your son is going to be doing some time. Oh, and that's the other thing I meant to tell you guys. He's already in jail right now as we speak. This video went viral. And even though the girlfriend tried to stand up for him and all of this and try to play it off for him, well, the state got a hold of it. So now it's not even up to Janiyah to charge him or not anymore because the state done took it up. So he's in jail right now as we speak. And I also heard he already had some other legal issues. Oh, and they also charged him for kidnapping because I believe at the time when he went out of town with her, she was underage or whatever because he's 18. I think she just turned 17. So he has a lot of heat on him right now. And his attitude eventually was going to not get him in a good place. So I'm not surprised he's where he landed, okay? This young man is going to have a lot of problems. This is just the beginning of his life spiraling out of control. You already got child support up the butt, and I know he's thinking because he got all these thousands or whatever that he could afford to mess up and keep making bad decisions. But unfortunately, he has a mother that is not preparing him for the real world, not telling him, son, you may not always be popping. You need to save some of this money. You need to strap your penis. Stop screwing screwing all these different females. You know, you have a lot of these women who got these successful young men that is in the rap industry, you know, and is in the music industry, or not even just music. Their sons are athletes or whatever. You know your son becomes a golden ticket. Why these women are not preparing their children for the hood boogers that's going to try to trap them and you know, run all kind of schemes and stuff on them. These young men are not prepared for the schemes and the game that is out there. Look at 21 Savage. I mean, he did a couple of hits, and already you done got Amber Rose knocked up. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who half of the industry has already passed around like a collection plate in church. I mean, seriously, it comes from these mothers, and what mothers are not understanding is they have the advantage to teach their sons what type of women to stay away from, because there are women. They should be coaching their sons, and they don't do that, you know. And a lot of them even encourage it. Yes, son, I want some grandbabies. Make sure you give me some grandbabies. No, you need to be telling your son, I want a daughter-in-law, and then some grandchildren. You need to be telling him teaching him how to have a solid family. But it's these hood ratchet mothers who are not instilling nothing into their children. And that's why when their children get out there in the real world, they catch so much hell, they go through so much chaos, because they haven't been given the skills and abilities to go out there and deal with the world and know how to carry themselves and know what to look for. And again, this young lady named Janiyah, he had a big advantage in getting her, and I'm gonna tell you why, which just brings my next point. A lot of poverty-stricken women are prone to abuse, okay? And the reason I say this is that women who don't have much or don't come from much of anything, it doesn't take much for them to get suckered. It doesn't take much from a woman who's come from poverty to be manipulated or to be persuaded, okay? And the reason I say that is let me discuss what poverty is, okay? All right. Poverty comes on different levels. Poverty could mean you live in a projects, you know, you're living off of Section A, you living off of stamps or whatever, any type of governmental assistance. Most likely you're in poverty. If you're obtaining any of these things, you do have some type of poverty, okay? And some of y'all don't even be in poverty like that. Y'all just want to get the free benefits. But for the most part, most individuals, most people who are welfare recipients are in poverty, okay? Some of you who are not receiving any governmental assistance, but you're in a household where everybody makes under minimum wage, everybody has a job versus a career, you know, it's all type of levels to poverty. You got your low class, you got your middle class, you know, it's just so many different levels. But basically what I mean in this particular situation is women who have grown up in households to where there wasn't, for one, a father involved, or if there was a father involved, he never really interacted with her. He never taught her how to be independent. And it's not just the father, it's the mothers. If she didn't have a mother that taught her how to be independent, like my daughter's 16 years old, she had her first job at 15. So she's already used to making her own money. Me and her father, well, basically, he bought it because I didn't have the money. He bought her first car and everything. So we gave her everything she needed so she could be independent. So now that she's independent and she's used to working and making her own money and being responsible for herself, 9 times out of 10, she's not going to pick up a boy who don't have nothing. Because the way she's going to look at it, hell, if I work and I got my own car, you need to have something too. But it took us to give her those tools and to give her those privileges so she won't go thinking that it's okay for a man to come to her with nothing, you know. Or not only that, we also gave her her own things because we also want her to not be dependent on guys who do have it like that, okay? Because that's what happened in this situation. This young lady, like I told my daughter, she really couldn't understand why this young girl was taking so much abuse and taking so much disrespect. I had to make my daughter realize, I said, because he has money. He has money, and in her mind, being that she comes from a situation of poverty, in her mind, he has a lot. And he does have a lot as far as money, but the thing is, because she wasn't taught that no matter how much a man how much money a man has, that doesn't mean it's okay for him to disrespect you. She doesn't see anything wrong with it, and even more so, she really don't see nothing wrong with it, because again, she came from nothing. She's not used to anything, so any little bit that he gave her is a lot. Okay, and this is what happens. This is why I'm so strong about women when they have so many children and they really can't afford. When you have all of these children and you really cannot afford to provide, your children go lacking. So what do they do when they go lacking? They want to have what other kids have, because it's in children's nature to be competitive, especially when they become adolescents. They see their peers got the newest Jordans. Their girlfriends got the newest sneakers and the newest nicest jewelry. Eventually they go to school looking scruffy and bummy, or let's say you one of those parents, you don't let them go to school scruffy or bummy. You buy them nice clothes, you buy them nice things, but because you don't have a lot of money, you can't not keep investing into the latest fashions with them. And as teenagers, that makes them feel some type of way. Okay, yeah, mama, you don't bought me these Jordans, but I've been rocking these for almost 6 months. They looking at other kids around them getting new Jordans every other month. So when you have a bunch of children, it is hard for you to give your children the best. At least in their mind, because as a good parent, if you're a good parent, you do your best, even if that means you can't buy them the best of things materialistically, but in their mind, they don't feel like you're doing enough. So what happens is these children, these teenagers, they go out there and they hustle. Okay, if they got to steal for it, they got to sell drugs for it. You got young girls who are screwing old sugar daddies just so they can get the newest hair bundles, or there are in this case, they take all type of disrespect off of guys who do for them, who do have money. Okay, and this is the thing that we need to be teaching our children and guiding. I don't care how popular or how famous someone is, or how much money they have. You never allow yourself to be disrespected by them just to be with them, just to be with that person. Okay, because after a while, it don't matter how much money, it don't matter how much success. When you're constantly being disrespected and being abused behind closed doors, you can't even enjoy all of this life of luxury that they're giving you. What's the use of you buying me $300-400 sneakers, paying for $200-300 hairdo, paying $150 something for me to get a nice manicure and pedicure job, when behind closed doors you calling me a bitch, you calling me a hoe, you disrespecting me? After a while, all of those materialistic things are not going to mean nothing to me. Not if my self-esteem is being compromised in the process of it. Not if my self-worth is being diminished in the process of it. And that's why a lot of these celebrity marriages, they really don't last, because it don't matter how much money somebody gives you. It don't matter how big of a house y'all live in. When there's so much disrespect behind closed doors and there's no real compassion, there's no real caring, there's no real love, you be like, damn this house, damn this Rolls Royce. Well, I don't know, a Rolls Royce. I'll have to probably think about that. But anyway, really, a lot of us behind closed doors, that are in the struggle, we look at all these couples that got money, and we thinking that, man, all this money they got, they should be happy, they should be well off. Look at all the Hollywood celebrity divorces. Tisha Campbell and Tisha, going to be Tisha Campbell. She's currently Tisha Martin, but she's not going to be Tisha Martin long. She's divorcing Dwayne Martin. Coco from SWV. She divorced her husband of 18 years. Jill Scott. The list goes on. Every time you turn around, somebody in celebrity Hollywood is, these celebrity couples are getting divorced, because people are finding out money is not everything. If there's no real love, if there's no real compassion for each other, I don't care how fat that bank account is. When you're being disrespected, your husband is out there with other women, or your wife is just harsh, cruel. We see it with all these, reality show couples, Married to Medicine. Toya and her husband is, Cecil, they divorced. It's like becoming a Hollywood trend. Divorce is becoming a Hollywood trend, because people finding out money is not enough to make you stick with somebody that is not good for you. And just down to the little things, because I've had guys before I married, we dated, and you know, I've had instances I had more fun with going out and just getting a frank and some French fries with a guy who know how to hold good conversation, make me laugh, and then I went out with guys who spent big money and took me to the most extravagant restaurant, but there was no conversation, the chemistry was dead. I'm like, okay, this is a very extravagant restaurant, and I mean, I see that he paid almost $200 between us eating these appetizers and this bottle of champagne, but dude, you are dry. Your conversation is as dry as a Sahara desert. Your conversation is as dry as day-old bread and box of crackers that have been left out for damn a month. There was no chemistry. And I've met guys where we just went out for a burger and caught a little matinee, and I enjoyed their company. You know, my husband, we didn't go to the top of the line restaurants. We went out a lot. We used to eat out a lot when we first dated. I mean, it was ridiculous, like 4 or 5 times a day or whatever. But the main thing was we had a connection. And it wasn't always at extravagant restaurants. Me and my husband to this day, we just go to Chick-fil-A, and I just enjoy hanging out with him and, you know, having his company. You know, it's about connection. It's about chemistry. Dollars is not keeping these relationships together. And it's unfortunate that this young lady in this situation is going to be one of those ones that's going to have to find out the hard way. And sadly, if he ends up doing this time, then it don't matter. In her case, it's still going to be a disadvantage, because if he ends up doing time, then she still may come out in a losing end anyway. It's just very sad that so many of these young women that are being abused. I mean, they're not. When I was dating back in my day, I was dating at 13, 14. Now, my mom did let me date young or whatever, but she knew I had the sense and the common sense to be able to handle myself a little bit. And, you know, back then we really dated, you know, and it wasn't no thing. I've never heard none of my girlfriends getting beat on or getting abused and getting cussed out. But these young men today, they are on a whole nother level. They are beating on your daughters. They are fighting your daughters. They're disrespecting your daughters. And hell, in some cases, some of these young men are disrespecting y'all as their mothers and disrespecting y'all as their fathers. When a child on the outside of your home is running your house and getting you upset and get your child upset, that really displays the lack of authority you have in your household. That's basically what that displays, okay? And for this young man to be that comfortable with fighting and pulling and grabbing on this girl, he knows that she has no support, she has no authority, and that is what happens. When troubled children run into other troubled children with no authority and no support, the troubled children basically will bring all type of abuse and all type of mistreatment into another troubled child's life. And that's basically the problem with this whole situation in a nutshell. He is a troubled ass young man who got lucky and preyed on this other troubled young girl's vulnerabilities, okay? Because one thing about it, an abuser can spot a vulnerable person from a mile away. Okay, same thing with you guys. A woman that's really conniving and wicked and evil, she can smell if you're a soft guy. If you one of the type of guys that she can run some game over and get over on you. People, especially real evil-minded and mean-spirited people, they can smell your vulnerability. They can smell your weaknesses. And if you're not man enough or woman enough to stand up for yourself, they're going to drag you to the mud. And it's unfortunate that this young lady, Janiyah, is getting dragged and getting disrespected, you know, by this young man. And a lot of it has everything to do with these ratchet hood mamas that are not guiding their children, not giving them any real instruction, not teaching them the real values of life, not showing them that, look, son, I know you're making all this money. I know right now you hot, you successful, but where are you going to be 10 years from now? Why are you having so many children? Well, you're going to be kicking out. Your payroll is going to be more for more more child support cases than it'd be for anything else. Where y'all are not sitting down and preparing your children for truth. And that's very unfortunate. And a lot of these hood mamas, they cannot put nothing in their children anyway because nobody put nothing into them. And what I'm noticing too with these hood mothers, they actually want their children especially especially when it comes to those who got daughters, they don't mind their daughters getting abused as long as their daughters are, getting $1 out of it. Just like in the movie we seen What's Love Got to Do with It. Tina Turner mother knew, that she was getting abused, okay? She did everything she could to persuade her daughter to stay with Ike Turner, who was an abuser, who she saw was holding her daughter, disrespecting her daughter. She convinced her daughter to stay with him because Ike was paying the mama under the table, paying her bills. Even when Tina tried to leave him because she couldn't take the abuse, the mother called and told them, where she was. And I'm like, you know what? That is really effed up. And I know a lot of girls who have said it. A lot of girls who with hood ass mamas have said, my mama knew this guy was no good for me, and she still kept letting him come over. I knew one particular girl. She had 2 kids from a guy and that was really, really abusive. Her mom was living in the projects, and at some point the young man was staying with them, and the girl got rid of him because she just couldn't take the abuse no more with him fighting and beating on her. She said she thinking he's gone for good. She went to work, she trying to get her life together. She comes back home and see that the mother done let him move right back in, and she was so angry with her mama. Like, I'm looking for you to defend me and protect me from this fool that's abusing me in front of your grandchildren, and you welcome him back into the house. Who does that? You have a lot of hood mamas. I'm telling you, it's a lot of hood mamas who got a bunch of children and they don't want to be bothered with them. They do not want to be bothered with their own daughters. Soon as their daughters turn 18 years old, they want these girls out of their house. Okay? They want them gone. So the first young man or the first, hood clown that comes around and he sprays a little bit of dollars, that hood mama is going to try to do everything in her soul to convince her daughter to stay in an unhealthy situation, okay? And even if this young man, let's say he's not a hood clown, he could be a young man that got a good job and make good, trying to make something of himself. But if you see he's abusing your daughter or mistreating your daughter or disrespect your daughter, you should not be persuading your daughter to stay in an unhealthy relationship, all because you do not want her to move back in your house and you got to continue raising her. A lot of y'all, as soon as y'all children turn 18, y'all are throwing them out there on their heads because you don't want to be responsible for them no more. Especially once they turn 18, because you're not getting no more child support and you can't file them on the taxes and stuff. So you're ready to get rid of them by then because you don't have no purpose for them. But this whole situation was very disheartening to me, that this young man with his ego, with his arrogance, is just dragging this young girl through the mud. And she is such in denial that she don't even see nothing wrong with it. And because she's come from the struggle, she hasn't had much of anything. Because one thing about it, a woman who has a lot, you can't impress somebody who got a lot. The same thing, if a man who has a lot, you can't impress him. But when you meet somebody who's from the bottom, it don't take a whole lot to impress them or to get in their good graces. And that's why you have some men and some women who are successful, who really got together. They intentionally want to go after those who they know are not on their level, because they feel like that's somebody I can use, that's somebody I feel like I can manipulate and take advantage of, because I'm the best thing that ever happened to them. I'll be able to get over on them. You will be surprised. A lot of people will intentionally not date and mess with somebody who got the money they got, who got the success they got. They want somebody that come from the bottom. I know another person who's somewhat related to me or whatever. She came from a very struggling family. Both her parents struggled, never really had a whole lot. When this guy came into her life, he was a drug boy at the time, and you know how them drug boys are. They keep cars, they keep money, and I remember when he first met her, she just fell head over heels, with the things he was doing for her, because she wasn't used to that. Her mom didn't give her a lot. Her dad didn't give her a lot. So when he gave her these little kibbles and bits, to her, it was like she hit the lottery. He bought her first car, which it wasn't nothing even like no BMW or no Beamer, but just the fact that he brought her a car, and her family barely even kept cars, all of it meant something to her. And slowly but surely, he worked his claws into her to where she ended up falling for him. She ended up falling for him, and over the years, the abuse has just transpired. She has had children throughout the relationship. He has been with other women on her. He has had children from other women. You name it. I mean, throughout the years, she's been married to him for a very long time now. And he has really shown his true colors, and to this day, her thing is she will not leave him because he's a good provider. He's a good provider, and that's why I state, women who come from poverty situations are more prone to abuse, unfortunately, compared to women that are very well off financially, and not so much financially. A girl ain't got to come from a family full of money to not put herself in situations like this, but she has to have a family that has taught her better and taught her the value of being respected. But when you've come from a woman, when you're a woman who has come from poverty, and don't let it be you one of those women who not only came from poverty-stricken situations, but you came up in abusive situations. Well, it is not going to take much for a man to come into your life and sweep you off your feet, because you came from the worst of the worst, okay? So it's not going to take much, for the next guy to scoop you up. And the same thing with you young men, you men or you women who got sons. If you have not instilled in your son as a man, for him to be independent, for him to, only pick a woman of quality, pick when, teaching him choices, as far as, really, being able to decipher. Basically, if you have not taught your sons what to look for in a woman, he's going to pick up anything. Okay, especially if he sees his father, and in the cases this has happened, a lot of sons too have seen their fathers take all type of disrespect off of their mothers, take all disrespect off of other women in their life. So when they do get in a relationship and they meet a female that's a hood rat, that's disrespectful to them, sleeping around with other guys on them, he's gonna tolerate that type of abuse as well, because his thing is, well, my father, my mother, they never taught me what to look for in a woman, and I've seen my mom disrespect my father all these years, and he's still with her. Mama had all kind of men on daddy, and he's still around. It go both ways. It's not just a girl thing. Y'all are teaching y'all sons the wrong mixed signals as well, when it comes to abuse. But anyway, I thought it was very imperative that I shared this message with all of you, because this situation just really hit close to home, and it's very sad and it's very unfortunate that this young man has already instilled in him. He's adopted this egotistical attitude that it is okay for me to be a dog and disrespect women and allow myself to be disrespected, because he's disrespecting himself as well by allowing all of these women, all of these young groupies to touch on him and grope on him, and you can just tell he's enjoying every moment of it. He's going to be one of those young men, like I said, who's going to have every bit. He's going to pass Lil Wayne, he's going to pass Fetty Wap, he's going to have every bit of damn 10 to 15 children before he even get in his damn 20s. And it's unfortunate that this young lady is in a situation where she's tolerating all this abuse, because somewhere she has no real authority over her life. There's no real woman in her life teaching her right from wrong, guiding her. So both of these two young individuals, they are going to bring so much havoc and so much chaos. And the sad part is, if he's gotten not comfortable with putting his hands on her, I could only imagine how far it's going to go. Next time you're going to hear on the news, he done killed her, he done choked her in her sleep. And I don't want to speak life into this young lady's situation, but we all know abuse escalates. But on that note, I hope things at this point, I hope somebody gets a hold of her. I hope her family has been exposed. All of these videos that have gone viral, now that it has been exposed, I hope her family chimes in. I hope her mother chimes in. Somebody chimes in and gets a hold of her. It may be already too late, because I'm sure he probably done dickmatized the hell out of her right now. So it's going to be a lot trying to pry him out of her system at this point. But anyway, I definitely want to thank all of you for tuning in. But before I exit my video, I have to give a shout out to all of the subscribers who have been donating donating to my channel. I'm so grateful for you guys investing in me, putting funds into my channel, because I know money is not easy to come by, especially when you don't know me from Adam. You only know me through my channel. So big ups to all of my subscribers out there, old and new, the ones who've been rocking with me from day one, those of you who are just jumping on board with me. I have to give a special shout out this morning. It's very imperative that I do this. I had a few subscribers who have donated to my channel, and I just felt it was very imperative that I acknowledge them, because all of these proceeds that are coming in is really going to help me to be able to get my book ready, to put my book out there. Because for all of you who don't know by now, I'm already starting on a project with my book, DNA, Dick and Attention, the Black Woman or Broken Woman's Disease. I'm working on that project. So all of these funds and all of these proceeds that I have been receiving has really been a big help to me, not only for my book. It lets me know that a lot of you guys out there and you ladies appreciate what I do. You respect what I do. You enjoy my craft. You really acknowledge, you know, the work that I put in, the energy that I put into my channel. So I got to give a shout out this morning to all of the individuals who have been donating to my channel, starting with McCaddy Family Reunion Account. Thank you for your proceeds. Detorian Pla, P-L-A, or Play, Detorian Play. I really want to thank you. You have been donating like crazy. You've been sending donations a lot frequently. So I really want to thank you, brother. I thank you for your support. Especially when a man supports my channel, I know I'm really doing something right then. Oh, so shout out to him. Tafari Robinson, thank you for the donations. I want to thank you for your proceeds. Rollum Shields, I believe that's the brother, if I'm not mistaken, from Wake the Hell Up. He's an awesome dude, y'all. He actually has his own channel. It's WTHE I think it's WTHHELL up. It's W the hell up, which is really Wake the Hell Up. He has his own channel. He's been a very dedicated dude. He actually put me on. He was the first guy to put me on live on his channel, and him putting me on live has really, you know, he helped to give me that extra boost with subscribers. So I want to thank Rollo, known as Wake the Hell Up, for rocking with your girl, supporting her. Junk File, LAR Movement. It's so many other guys out there who got their channel, who respect my craft and respect what I do. So I definitely want to give a shout out to him, because I think actually he was one of the ones that gave me my first donation when he allowed me to go, when he granted me the privilege to be live on his show. So I want to give a shout out to Wake the Hell Up. Janice Suggs, I want to thank you for your donations. So I just appreciate each and everybody who has been donating. Some of you donated $1, some of you been $10. The highest I've gotten was $50. So I really want to thank all of you. Like I said, there's never no I don't have a set donation. I don't care if it's $1 a month, $5 a month, or whatever. Any blessing is a blessing to me. Keep in mind that what us bloggers do, you know, it looks easy just sitting behind a laptop, a computer, typing and just, you know, breaking off all this knowledge and doing all of these topics and sharing our perspectives on life and things that are going on around the world. But it is not easy. It is not easy, you know, actually putting a lot of energy into this craft, you know, because you have to constantly come up with different topics that's going to keep your fan base flowing. You have to constantly come up with issues that are going to be interesting and entertaining to starving souls who really need this information and really want the knowledge. So I'm telling you, it is not easy. I enjoy what I do, but it's not easy. So when I have people who actually take the time to donate to my channel, I know that what I'm doing is not going in vain. Not only that, all of the emails that I have been receiving, I've even talked to a couple of my subscribers personally over the phone who needed my advice about something. You know, a few of them have donated to me as well. I I appreciate a lot of my subscribers who I have spoken to personally, who have emailed me, and we have spoken over the phone, via phone, and a lot of y'all have donated to me as well, and I really appreciate it, you know, because time is money. So I appreciate the fact that when I give y'all my time, when I give y'all my wisdom, I give y'all some of my knowledge, that y'all appreciate it, and y'all actually pay me for it, you know. So I thank y'all for letting me know that what I'm doing is not going in vain. For all of you who have not been donating but have been rocking with me, I appreciate your support as well, because consistency is just as important as $1 to me, if not more. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I have love for all of my subscribers, whether you donate or don't donate. Just the fact that you are viewing my channels, you are thumbing me up, you are subscribing, that is a big, 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 big deal. So I want to thank all of you. Okay.
That you're gonna do something because you work at the arsenal and you got a fucking Mercedes Benz and you ain't gotta walk every day, so you gonna get out and strut that ass, strut that ass, strut that ass, strut that ass, strut that ass. When you start walking, my friend, and you get 10 and 15 miles on the highway, you won't be strutting that ass. You'll be half dead by the time you get there. So it's a chauvinistic pig attitude that Clinton's got. Strut that ass, strut that ass, strut that ass, strut that ass. And when you walk about 15 or 20 miles, you won't be strutting that ass. You'll be so fucking tired, you won't hard to hold that ass up. You won't be.